Thank you for choosing Wisdom of the Dharma. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new update. Your support helps us keep sharing powerful, life-changing wisdom with the world. And don't forget to drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's grow and learn together. Part 1. The Hidden Trap in Your Room. Have you ever walked into your bedroom, looked around, and felt something was off? Everything appears clean, organized, and familiar. But deep inside, there's a quiet unease, a weight on your chest, a fog in your mind, or a heaviness in your body that just won't go away. What if I told you that this subtle discomfort could be coming from something as ordinary as your wardrobe? Yes, the very piece of furniture you trust to hold your clothes, the things closest to your body each day, might be silently working against your fortune. In Feng Shui and Buddhist home wisdom, your wardrobe is more than a wooden box. It's an energy vault, a spiritual container that holds not just fabrics, but emotions, memories, and karma. This may sound dramatic, but I've seen it firsthand. Several years ago, a friend of mine, let's call him Daniel, was at the top of his career. He was a successful investor, happily married, with a beautiful home in the hills. Then, within a single year, everything began to unravel: investment losses, health issues, constant tension at home. No one could explain it. Until one day, during a casual conversation, he mentioned how he had moved his wardrobe to a spot that felt more convenient. When I visited, I saw immediately, the placement violated every principle of balanced energy. The very next day, we adjusted the layout. Weeks later, the shift in his mood, his clarity, even his financial outlook was undeniable. I'm not saying your wardrobe alone holds the key to your destiny, but I am saying it plays a far greater role than most people realize. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the most dangerous wardrobe placements that quietly drain your energy, block your luck, and create subtle chaos in your life, even if your house looks perfect on the outside. You'll also learn how to choose the right wardrobe based on material, color, and shape to align with your personal energy and restore harmony. This isn't superstition. It's sacred design. And if you've been feeling stuck, tired, or unlucky lately, this might be the quiet correction that changes everything. Let's begin. Part 2. The Spiritual Energy of Clothing. In Buddhist teaching, we are constantly reminded that the outer reflects the inner. What we wear, what we carry, and what surrounds us is never separate from our spiritual state. And few objects in our lives are as intimately tied to our daily energy as the clothes we wear. From the moment you wake up and choose your outfit, your clothing becomes an extension of your energy body. That shirt you put on during a stressful meeting still holds the residue of that tension. The sweater you wore to a joyful family gathering retains a trace of that warmth. Just as our speech leaves echoes in the minds of others, our clothing absorbs and echoes our own emotional vibration. This is why, in both Feng Shui and Buddhist householder practice, the wardrobe is seen not as a simple piece of furniture, but as a spiritual vault. It holds your second skin, your emotional history, your karma and motion. Imagine this: you come home from a long, draining day. You take off your clothes and hang them inside your wardrobe. But what else are you storing along with them? Fatigue, frustration, confusion. Over time, those invisible residues build up, layering the space with emotional sediment. Unless the wardrobe is carefully maintained, physically and energetically, it becomes a chamber of accumulated suffering. In Buddhist psychology, we speak of vasana, or latent tendencies, those impressions left on our consciousness from repeated experiences. In a way, your wardrobe stores a physical version of vasana. When you place your clothes into it, you're placing your emotional memory there too. That's why the energy of a wardrobe can subtly affect your mood, sleep, clarity, and even financial decisions. A cluttered wardrobe, stuffed with clothes that no longer represent your current self, is like clinging to an old identity. It reflects a mind not yet ready to let go. And in Feng Shui terms, this clinging creates energetic stagnation. Qi that stops moving becomes qi that blocks prosperity. On the other hand, when the wardrobe is arranged with care, when it breathes, when it's given the right space, when it holds only what's aligned with your present life, it becomes a sanctuary. A place of rest. A quiet supporter of your journey. So before we even talk about where the wardrobe should go, we must first understand what it actually is. A spiritual companion, not just a wooden box. And like any good companion, it deserves your mindfulness and respect. In the next part, we'll uncover the 5 most dangerous wardrobe positions that could be quietly draining your luck, disrupting your peace, and even blocking your path to prosperity, no matter how beautiful your home appears on the outside. But before we continue, if this message has resonated with you, take a moment to support the journey we're building here. Like this video to help others find it. Subscribe to Wisdom of the Dharma if you haven't already. And share this with someone who may be struggling with invisible energy blocks in their life. Together, let's grow a community of mindful living, one space, one breath, one blessing at a time. Now, let's step into part 3. Part 3, the 5 most dangerous wardrobe positions. If the wardrobe stores your energy, your memories, and your emotional residue, then where you place it is not just a design decision, it's a statement of intention. And if that placement is wrong, it doesn't just affect the furniture, it affects you. In both Feng Shui and Buddhist household wisdom, your living space is a body of energy. And just like the human body, it needs breath, movement, and circulation to stay alive and balanced. The wardrobe, because of its heavy, enclosed, and energy-retaining nature, acts like the heart of the bedroom. If you place it where energy is meant to flow freely, it can clog the system. If you place it in sacred space, it contaminates the stillness. Now let's explore the 5 most dangerous places you could put your wardrobe, and why they matter more than you think. 1. Blocked at the gateway, wardrobe at the bedroom door. There's a quiet moment that happens every day. You open the door to your bedroom. For most, it's just routine. But from an energetic standpoint, that first second of entry is incredibly important. It's the threshold between the outer world and your inner retreat. In Buddhist symbolism, it's the moment when the mind transitions from movement to stillness, from doing to being. Now imagine that just beyond that door, you're greeted by a large, heavy wardrobe. It towers in front of you, cutting your line of sight, narrowing your breath. Without realizing it, your body tightens. Your energy contracts. You haven't even stepped inside, and already your nervous system is defending itself. This is more than a design flaw. It's a block at the mouth of qi, the energetic gateway of the room. Feng Shui teaches that when this flow is obstructed, everything that enters your space, ideas, opportunities, healing, connection, gets distorted or delayed. I once worked with a woman named Elena. She had just moved into a new apartment and set her wardrobe right beside the door to save space. Within weeks, her sleep became restless, her work chaotic, and arguments with her partner increased. The room felt fine at first glance, but energetically, it was suffocating. When we shifted the wardrobe even a few feet away and opened the entrance view with soft curtains and a plant, the change was almost immediate. Her breath deepened. Her peace returned. The lesson? Never block the entry to your sanctuary. If you can't move the wardrobe completely, soften it. Use sheer fabric, calming art, or a tall leafy plant to re-establish the sense of openness. The doorway is sacred. Let it breathe. 2. The sun burns within. Wardrobe by the window. At first glance, placing your wardrobe near a window might seem like a beautiful idea. After all, natural light makes a room feel bigger, brighter, and more alive. But in the quiet language of energy, too much light can burn, not bless. In Feng Shui, sunlight represents intense yang energy, active, forceful, expansive. And while yang is vital, it must be balanced with yin, coolness, stillness, rest. A wardrobe, by its very nature, is yin. It's meant to store, to protect, to hold energy in quiet containment. But when placed directly beside a window, especially one that receives strong afternoon sun, the balance is broken. Day after day, the light doesn't just touch the wardrobe, it pierces it. The materials dry out, the fabrics fade, and more importantly, the emotional stability the wardrobe holds begins to unravel. Have you ever opened a sun-drenched closet only to feel restless or uneasy for no clear reason? That's not just heat, it's energy agitation. In Buddhism, we're taught that inner peace is nurtured in shade, not glare. Just like a monastery is tucked away from loud city lights, your wardrobe, holding memories, identities, and karmic impressions, needs a space that is cool, grounded, and private. One man I worked with, a corporate consultant named Liam, had placed his sleek wardrobe directly beneath a large bay window. It caught every drop of sun from noon until dusk. Over time, he began experiencing shallow sleep, morning headaches, and a strange sense of fatigue despite his healthy lifestyle. After we moved the wardrobe and installed a linen curtain to soften the light, those symptoms slowly faded. What left him most surprised wasn't the improvement in sleep, but the emotional calm that followed. The takeaway is simple: sunlight is life-giving, but only in proportion. A wardrobe exposed to excessive light is like a mind constantly under pressure, it eventually cracks. If relocation isn't possible, soften the light. Use a sheer curtain, hang a calming textile, or position a tall plant between the window and the wardrobe. Let the light kiss the room, but not scorch the energy you need to keep. 3.3 Disturbing the Divine. Facing the altar. In many homes that honor ancestral tradition or spiritual devotion, the altar holds a sacred role. Whether it's a simple shelf with incense and photos, or a more elaborate setup with statues and offerings, this space is more than decorative. It is a spiritual portal, a place where the physical meets the unseen, where we offer reverence, remembrance, and stillness. Now imagine this sacred space being stared down by a wardrobe. It may sound harmless, even trivial. But in both Feng Shui and Buddhist understanding, what faces your altar matters deeply. The altar radiates quiet purity. It is meant to draw on offerings of sincerity, not to absorb the daily weight of your personal baggage. A wardrobe, by contrast, stores items filled with emotion, clothes from stressful workdays, garments tied to past relationships, keepsakes that stir old wounds. These are the imprints of daily life, of samsara, the endless cycle of desire, attachment, and suffering. When such energy faces the altar, it's like pouring muddy water into a still bowl of light. I once visited a home where the family had unknowingly placed their wardrobe, large, dark, full of storage boxes, directly across from the altar. Over the months, the elders in the house began falling ill more often, and tensions flared during family rituals. The space no longer felt sacred, it felt heavy. When we moved the wardrobe and restored respectful space around the altar, harmony slowly returned. In Buddhism, external order reflects internal sincerity. If you would not bring your worldly stress into a meditation hall, Why allow it to stare directly at your altar? If your wardrobe currently faces your altar, move it. If space does not allow, place a divider, like a sheer screen, a wooden panel, or even a cloth scroll with sacred imagery, to separate the profane from the divine. Respect invites blessings. And sometimes, all it takes is turning one object away to let grace return. 4. The drain of purity, near or opposite the bathroom. The bathroom is a necessary part of every home, functional, private, and often ignored in spiritual conversations. But in Feng Shui, it's known as one of the most energetically sensitive areas. It is the place where the body releases waste, and where invisible energetic residue, old emotions, fatigue, and heaviness, flows away from the space. This is not superstition. It is energetic hygiene. Now picture placing your wardrobe, your energetic vault of daily clothing and intimate memory, right next to, or directly across from, this space of elimination. From an energetic standpoint, it's like placing clean water next to a leaking drain. No matter how often you air it out, the slow pull of yin, damp energy seeps into the space. Your clothes may begin to carry a faint, unexplainable scent. Your body might feel tired after dressing, your mood low before sleep. And over time, you start to notice, you no longer feel fully refreshed in your own sanctuary. I remember working with a woman named Jessica, who had always felt a strange sense of heaviness in her master bedroom. Her wardrobe stood against the shared wall of the ensuite bathroom. She kept it neat and clean, but her sleep was fragmented, her focus blurry, and her hormones unpredictable. After shifting the wardrobe 2 meters away and introducing a live plant between the two spaces, her emotional and physical balance began to return within weeks. In Buddhist insight, the body is seen as a vessel for awakening, and what touches the body also touches the mind. If the things we wear are stored in spaces of decay or discharge, then some part of that release energy lingers, and follows us into the day. If your wardrobe is near a bathroom, try repositioning it. If that's not possible, use gentle buffers, a bamboo screen, a salt lamp, or a leafy plant. Most importantly, keep the bathroom door closed and ensure regular ventilation. Purity isn't always about what we see, it's about where our energy rests. 5. The weight of the unseen, at the head or foot of the bed. There is no time more sacred, or more vulnerable, than the moment we sleep. It's when the body releases control, the mind softens, and our deeper layers begin to surface. In both Buddhist tradition and Feng Shui, the sleeping space is not simply a place of rest. It is a gateway to renewal, a sacred pause where healing, reflection, and spiritual recalibration naturally occur. And yet, in so many homes, the space around the bed is cluttered or cramped, especially by one overlooked intruder, the wardrobe. When placed directly at the head of the bed, a wardrobe exerts what Feng Shui calls pressing energy, a dense, downward pressure that the body unconsciously resists. Though your eyes are closed, your nervous system feels the weight. The result? You wake up groggy, stiff, or with headaches. Dreams become shallow. Deep rest remains just out of reach. At the foot of the bed, the danger is different. That space is meant for energy to release and circulate. It's the tail end of the energetic flow that moves through your body during sleep. Blocking it with a large, solid object like a wardrobe creates stagnation. The body feels trapped. Many people who sleep this way report nightmares, sleep paralysis, or a strange sense of panic in the early morning hours. One client, Mark, a musician, shared that he often felt chased in his dreams or awoke suddenly, breathless. His wardrobe, I discovered, stood flush against the foot of his bed, with sharp edges and mirrored panels. Once we moved it to the side wall and softened the space with plants and a fabric panel, his sleep returned to deep, peaceful silence. Buddhists often say, the mind rests where the body lies. If the body lies under pressure or in confinement, the mind can never truly let go. Whenever possible, keep the space around your bed open. If your wardrobe cannot be moved, consider softening its presence with fabric, light, or even a sacred symbol. Let your sleeping space breathe, so your spirit can do the same. Placement reflects respect. You might not have noticed it before, but now you see. Where you place your wardrobe speaks volumes about how you manage your space, your energy, and your sense of harmony. This isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. And just like a spiritual path, rearranging your environment begins with one small, conscious step. So take a moment today. Look at where your wardrobe stands. Does it block flow? Does it face sacred space? Does it rest too close to energetic exits? Even the smallest shift can bring surprising peace. In the next part, we'll move from the outside of the wardrobe to its inner world, and uncover the hidden energies within that may be supporting or sabotaging your life from the inside out. Let's go deeper. Part 4. The invisible mistakes from the inside. Even a beautifully positioned wardrobe can silently work against you, if the energy inside is heavy, forgotten, or chaotic. What we store, how we store it, and how often we interact with that space reveals much about our inner life. In Buddhist philosophy, we're reminded again and again, the outer reflects the inner. When our living space becomes a silent archive of the past, or a symbol of neglect, it affects more than just aesthetics. It affects our clarity, our rest, and even our luck. Let's look at 3 invisible mistakes that quietly drain fortune from within. 1. Keeping what no longer serves you. Many of us hold on to clothing we haven't worn in years. A coat from a difficult breakup. Shoes we no longer like. Or stacks of just-in-case outfits for a future that never arrives. But every item we keep also keeps something of us. In Feng Shui, old, unused objects generate stagnant qi. In Buddhist terms, they anchor us to past attachments, resistance to impermanence. A woman I worked with had a closet filled with items from her old corporate life, though she had since become a yoga teacher. Every time she opened her wardrobe, she felt tension. It's like I'm being pulled back into a version of myself I've outgrown, she said. Let go with love. If you haven't worn it in a year, bless it and release it. Make space not just for new clothes, but for new energy to enter. 2. Ignoring dust and surface neglect. The outside of your wardrobe is the first thing your eyes and hands connect with each day. A layer of dust, a sticky handle, or scuffed doors may seem minor, but energetically, they signal mental dullness and emotional neglect. Feng Shui sees dust as a veil between your space and its vitality. In Buddhist practice, even a tea bowl is cleaned with reverence, because how we care for objects reflects how we care for our lives. Once a week, wipe the surface of your wardrobe as an act of mindfulness. Add a small flower, a gentle scent, or a sacred image. Let it become a space that greets you with calm, not clutter. 3. Letting chaos rule the inside. A cluttered interior, shirts stuffed into drawers, scarves crumpled under jackets, disrupts more than visibility. It creates subtle stress every time you look inside. This disorder fragments your attention and diminishes your ability to feel grounded. When energy inside the wardrobe is jumbled, your qi becomes scattered. In Buddhism, such disarray mirrors a mind caught in distraction and craving. Bring order. Group clothes by purpose or color. Use boxes for small items. Leave intentional empty space. When the inside is peaceful, you'll notice your day starts with more ease. Even in silence, your wardrobe speaks. Make sure its message supports who you are becoming, not who you used to be. In the next part, we'll explore how to choose a wardrobe that doesn't just store, but supports, through the right material, shape, and color. Are you ready to align your space with your destiny? Part 5, Choosing a Prosperity-Aligned Wardrobe. Beyond where you place your wardrobe and how you organize it, there is another layer that's often overlooked, but equally powerful: what kind of wardrobe you choose to begin with. In Feng Shui, everything has a vibration. The material, shape, and color of an object carry energetic frequencies that either support or disturb your space. And in Buddhist practice, we are encouraged to cultivate mindfulness not just in action, but in the way we interact with our environment. Your wardrobe, if chosen consciously, can become more than just storage. It can become a quiet source of grounding, prosperity, and peace. 1. Material. Let nature breathe through your space. The best wardrobes, energetically, are those made from natural wood. Oak, pine, walnut, or sandalwood carry the essence of life, formed through seasons, nurtured by soil, and shaped with time. In Feng Shui, wood is associated with growth and harmony. It gently absorbs and circulates energy, creating a stable field in your room. Synthetic materials, laminate, plastic, cold metals, may look modern, but they lack the ability to breathe. Their frequency is inert, and over time, they contribute to emotional dullness or a sense of spiritual flatness. One client shared that after replacing her glossy, engineered wardrobe with a softer, grain-textured wooden one, her room felt warmer, calmer, like it could exhale again. Choose wood. Let it be unfinished or naturally treated. The grain patterns, the scent, even the slight creaks, these are all signs of aliveness, not flaws. 2. Shape. Invite stillness through stability. In energy design, form dictates flow. Wardrobes with simple, square or rectangular shapes are best. They symbolize earth element, stability, groundedness, and balance. Clean lines promote mental clarity and emotional calm. On the other hand, wardrobes with sharp corners, chaotic curves, or disproportionate sizes introduce agitation. Especially when placed near your bed or desk, these forms can subtly disturb your focus, sleep, or relationships. Avoid extremes. A towering wardrobe that looms over your space can feel oppressive. Let your wardrobe's presence be calm, centered, and proportionate, like a quiet elder in the room. 3. Color. Align with your element. In Feng Shui, each person carries a dominant elemental energy: wood, fire, earth, metal, or water. Choosing the wardrobe's color to complement your personal element enhances not just the room's harmony, but also your luck and clarity. Wood types: green, soft brown, for growth and resilience. Fire types: muted red, terracotta, for passion and confidence. Earth types: beige, sand, light yellow, for grounding and support. Metal types: white, light gray, for clarity and order. Water types: navy, deep blue, for intuition and calm. Choose colors not just for style, but for support. Let your wardrobe be a mirror for your soul's rhythm. Part 6, The Dharma of your wardrobe. A wardrobe may seem like just furniture, a wooden box with hinges and shelves. But when we truly look, through the lens of energy, intention, and awareness, it becomes something else entirely. It becomes a mirror of what we hold on to, a mirror of what we're still hiding, a mirror of how we carry ourselves in the world, quietly, unconsciously, every day. In the Dharma, we are taught that liberation begins not in temples, but in attention. attention to breath, to thought, to space, even to the way we fold our clothes or open a drawer. In that small act, we reveal who we are becoming. So pause today. Gently open your wardrobe, not with judgment, but with presence. What lives there? What needs to be released? What part of you is waiting to be honored or rearranged? A shift of a few inches. The removal of one heavy coat. The soft cloth laid over a sharp edge. These are not small things. These are the gestures of one who has chosen to live awake. Because in a world full of noise, chaos, and urgency, your wardrobe can become a sanctuary. A quiet altar of becoming. And that's the real secret. Feng Shui is not about rules. It's about relationship between your inner peace and your outer world. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If this message touched you, support our growing community. Like this video. Subscribe to Wisdom of the Dharma. And leave a comment. I choose to live in harmony with my space. Let your space speak peace, so your life can follow.